Hi, so a quick guide here on how to use OBS Studio so you can set up essentially a live video streaming system at home. Of course, the first thing you're going to need to do is to go to obsproject.com and download OBS Studio. But once you've done that, you should have something that looks something like this. OBS is free and really powerful, and if you're intending to do any YouTube streaming, this is a much more powerful way of doing it than simply just streaming straight from a phone, for example. So you can see over on the left hand side we have scenes. Scenes are essentially what you see on the screen. This would be your camera of performance, and then in sources you have, well, the different things that are possible to see. So we'll start by demonstrating this, and I'll show you, if I click the plus button, if I wanted to do a simple tutorial on how to use some software, I could go display capture, and I would call this second display, so I don't get a feedback loop, a video feedback loop. And I say yes, I'm probably happy with those settings, and choose display number 1, press OK. And there we have it, my second screen is now visible on your page. You can bring this in and out simply by clicking on the eye icon, which we'll see later is a little bit more useful than you might first think for that. Of course, this is purely for picture. If we want to bring in some cameras, well, it's fairly straightforward. Again, I could click here on the plus button and I could bring in a video capture device. I'll start off with my webcam. And I will choose device FaceTime camera. There we go. Hello. Press OK. And there we have it. And you can resize this, move it around, do whatever you need. Then I will bring in another option here, and we'll go video capture device. And well, I'm going to call this one Black Magic, because I have a fair amount of expensive video equipment, and I can show you my Blackmagic Studio Ultra Mini recorder, which is, as you can tell, just behind me. So, hello. You can see here, if I just pull this out to fill the whole screen, that now you can't see the previous one, and that's because of the order they're on in here. So if I grab webcam and drag it up to the top, now you can see I can superimpose myself on myself. Marvellous. However, if you probably don't have a video capture card or anything like that, so in which case you're probably going to use something like an iPhone, and it is that simple. Let's just go to video capture device, and I will call this iPhone. OK. Device iPhone. Press OK. Now this is all looking odd at the moment. There we go. And you can see I've got my iPhone on a little tripod just to the side. Notice that the apps that you get with the iPhone, unfortunately, they give you this bit on the side of the screen. Now, you can pay for an app that's just going to give you a clean camera feed if you like. But if you hold the Option key and click on here, let's try this a little bit more neatly. So iPhone, make sure that's the one selected, hold the Option key and click there. You see it becomes a crop tool. So you could, if you wanted to do this, frame it slightly differently. And now we have too many pictures of me. So let's lose the iPhone and yeah, let's leave it like this for now. Great, so we have a basic scene. What else can we do to this? Well, let's bring in an overlay. Now you can do things by selecting with the plus button here, but I'm just going to drag this straight on top, and there we have it. We've got a little Tileyard logo. And again, I can resize that and position it somewhere that makes more sense on a video. Great. It's fairly straightforward. I'll do one more scene. So this scene is an utter mess, but obviously you can do a few of these. I could right click and choose to duplicate this, and I will call this no webcam. And then this is exactly the same, and I can turn off webcam from there, and then I could do a scene change just by clicking between the two. Obviously, if you've just got a single camera you're turning on and off, you might as well do it from the sources, but you can of course do multiple things. So maybe no webcam also didn't have the logo, and you can see now both of these settings can be switched between very quickly. One thing you might have noticed though is that we don't actually have any sound, because over here you can see the audio mixer is currently empty. Now there are a few ways that we could do this. I find the easiest thing to do is to go into the settings menu, and under audio I can choose one of these settings. So I'm going to set Audient ID 22, which is my interface. Click on there, and now you can see the levels. You can also spot that it's only coming in on the left channel. Well, it's a single mic plugged in. Unfortunately, the limitation of OBS is that if you have multiple microphones set up, they're all going to come in as a single source, so you don't have level control of one or the other. You're going to have to ride your mix using your mic gain controls, but it's a decent amount of practice for live sound if you're nothing else. Notice, of course, that this is treating it as a stereo signal over here on the left, but if I click and go to Advanced Audio Properties, you can see I now have an option of mono. Now, while I'm here, there's something else that's really important to understand, and that's the idea of this audio monitoring option. And you can see there are several options there. We've got monitor off, which is what you get by default, monitor only, which means you can hear it, but it won't go out to the broadcast, and monitor and output, which means you will be able to hear it and it will go out to the stream. For the voiceover like this, you probably want it set to monitor off, but as we'll see in a moment, if you want to play any other media, you're probably going to want something else. So let's close that down. And now we're pretty much ready to go. I'm actually going to do one more scene because it's pretty important when you set up for this that people aren't just waiting for you with no idea what's happening. So I'm going to click on the add button here and I will call this waiting. Why not? And I've created this countdown movie that I can bring onto there. There it goes. And that's just playing around. You can see that this has also got some audio settings here. But as this video doesn't have any audio in it, that's not really causing me any problems. You can right click on here and check the properties, and then you can check, actually I'd like this to loop. I've actually designed this video file so it does loop smoothly, and I can press OK. And now it should just continuously play until we're quite ready for the broadcast. Let's go back to my normal scene. There we go. If you wish to bring in some backing tracks, then the easiest way to do that is again to drag your audio file. So here's one I wrote ages ago, straight into here, and now this is playing. Now you can't hear it right now, however anyone watching the stream could hear it because, as we said earlier, it's set to a default of make sure it plays the sound. Let's turn it down a little bit as well. And I will click on this little cog and choose Advanced Audio Properties. And then I'm going to change this to Monitor and Output so I can hear it and it'll go out to the stream. It stopped playing. I haven't set it to loop, but if I just turn it off, then back on again, hopefully, there we go, we have the track playing. So you can cue this up as part of a scene or as just from the sources list. So straight away, give yourself a bit of a time, a bit of a run-in for the track, and you're up and running with your backing track. So all you need to do then is add your vocals or whatever over the top. Now, so far, fairly straightforward. However, one thing we haven't done is set up for actually the streaming side of things. And this involves, of course, going to YouTube. So here's my YouTube page. Fairly straightforward. We're going to go to Create. I'm going to go to Go Live. And this will give me the settings. Now, this is a stream that I did earlier, but I'm going to go for a totally new stream. And I'm going to call this How to Stream. I'll set it to unlisted because I don't want people to see this particular thing. I will schedule it for later. Let's have this actually going to happen at over the weekend. So let's put it on Saturday at, let's say, midday. Upload custom thumbnail. It's worthwhile spending some time on this. So if anyone comes to the page earlier, they can see, oh, that is the right one. So here's one I created earlier. And you have to choose one of these options here. It doesn't matter if you choose no, it's not made for kids. You don't have to bring in your restriction on the video. It's just sort of a parental option. So we click on Create Stream. And don't worry, nothing's going to go live quite yet. So the important thing we need right now is the stream key, and that's over here. Now if I just click on here on copy, I now have in the clipboard of my Mac the stream key. If I go back to OBS and go to settings, unsurprisingly there's an option here of stream, and I will clear this previous stream key and paste in the new one. Press OK. And now if I click on, let's go for waiting and go start streaming, it's going to start streaming the video up to YouTube. It's not gone live yet, so I have to push a button to do that. And if I go back here, now we just have to wait. So I might fast forward this part of the video. Incidentally, if you're doing this for part of the TYE live video streaming that we want you to do, then we'll just send you the stream key and we'll deal with everything else from there. Great, it's now ready to stream. And if I click on go live, it will be ready for anyone to look at. Of course, no one will know about it because we don't have the link yet. But this little arrow here, click and you can copy and paste the YouTube link. And of course, you could do this anytime in advance and people can just go to the YouTube page and be ready to watch it. Okay, we will then click on go live. It takes a little bit of time. Still there. Okay, and too many microphones. Go back to OBS. We're live. And here's the scene. So too many pots and controls to deal with. You might find it a lot easier if someone else can come and help you. Okay. Once you're done, of course, we just end the stream, say thanks to everyone for joining in, and on the left here you'll be able to see any live chat that's going on. Yep, let's end the stream. I'll go back to OBS and stop using up all of my bandwidth. So there you go. That's how to perform a live broadcast using YouTube and OBS. Look forward to seeing what you can create.